Oops.
Was it us that was talking about cow tongue?
All right, so I have a topic.
Topic up.
Murph.
Wow,
Murph.
We got some great topics.
That is a fantastic topic, actually.
Tunnel Hill training. Tunnel Hill 50 miler,
going
100
on.
miler.
That's right.
There's a lot of people doing it.
I know. It's crazy, isn't it?
He said, I saw the Eagles in concert. 3 days later, Glenn Fry dies. I'm supposed to see Soundgarden on Friday, and Chris Cornell dies on Thursday. Obviously, I should buy Nickelback tickets
Yes.
for Mankind.
Yes, I was worried that was going to end differently.
What do you think? I was going to say something just completely disrespectful and dedicated about Chris Cornell?
No.
Chris Cornell could flat lay it down.
What kind of songs did they sing?
So he sang for a band called Soundgarden. He sang for a band called Audio Slave.
Stone Temple Pilots?
No. Get the Super Unknown album.
Oh, Black Hole Sun. Okay.
Like a Stone.
Rusty Cage.
Here Comes the Rooster.
No, that's Alice in Chains.
Oh,
All right, this is 51.
This
Thank
is
you.
episode 51.
Episode 51. Welcome to the Lift Heavy Run Long podcast, episode number 51. You can find us at www.liftheavyrunlong.com, on Twitter and Instagram at liftrunlong. Also, feel free to email me directly at the address wilson@liftheavyrunlong.com. Also, be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel and leave us a 5-star review on iTunes. Today, we do not have a guest. Our guest had to cancel at the last minute because he has kids and one of them has the flu. Apparently, he's not alone. And so I am here with the one and only Jacked and Tan, Dr. Amanda Kimsey Horrell, who I'm always so happy to see and I love podcasting with. As much as anything, I love Wednesday or Thursday night, whichever one we podcast. It's my favorite thing in the world. How are you?
Thank you. I'm good. How are you?
Fantastic.
I enjoy this too. It's very fun.
I'm glad that you do.
I don't do much. I sit here.
It makes me feel more comfortable that you're here. You have a calming effect on me.
Okay.
In a lot of ways, you know that. I'm high strung, high anxiety, and you are not high anxiety because you're logical and rational. And when I'm going like full tilt over something that's very, very small, you're always really chill.
Having a female around, I feel like that's helps that automatically. Like,
I think that that's the difference in a healthy relationship and an unhealthy relationship. Either you can have a female that will drive you absolutely nuts,
Right,
where everything that you do, you feel like you're the chokehold just tightens with every word that comes out of your mouth. And then,
but you wouldn't have invited Amanda on the show if that was the case.
you
wouldn't.
there's
You
a
know
lot
what I
of
mean?
things that I wouldn't ask Amanda to do if that was the case.
Like marry you?
Like marry me.
Right. Will you marry me?
So
Will you be on my
she
podcast?
she releases that, and so I just feel a lot more comfortable being able to talk things out with Amanda. I love having Amanda as my wife, and I love having you as my co-host as well, Reverend Rawls,
Reverend Rawls.
Mr. Vaughn Rawls.
That's me.
How are you?
I'm doing fantastic.
Okay, before the show, we discussed that everyone was going to contribute because we don't have anything really to talk about since we don't have a guest.
Yeah?
So we're all going to talk about stuff.
Yeah.
And the first direction that we went was the dragon boat races.
That's right.
You.
I was going to say, I went to the pool yesterday because we did the dragon boat races. And we were out in the sun all day long, and I got this nice redneck sunburn with the cut-off sleeves. My arms were red. So I decided to go to the pool yesterday with Murphy, my little one, and laid out, watched her swim, tried to fix some of that redneck tan. But the dragon boat races were incredibly fun.
They were incredibly fun.
Yes.
We finished second overall.
We did. We kicked some ass, dude.
Olive Branch
we did.
CrossFit finished second overall out of 50 teams. And there was a lot of good teams, and just 50 teams that have to have 20 people on each boat, on top of family and friends that come out there to visit.
Yeah.
And it was a good variety of people that were there to win dragon boat races, and people there that were just hanging out to get shit-faced.
I think last year they had 25 teams, and this year they had 50.
That's wild.
And the one thing that I think is really funny about that particular event is they had to make a special category for CrossFit and fitness and gyms, because these gyms are just showing up and dominating everybody, and nobody else had a chance.
Right.
You know, like, because they were just everybody, all 20 people on the boat just stacked and jacked. Right. And they're just like crushing. And so they're like, okay, well, we'll just give you your own category.
Which is fair.
Which
I mean,
very
you
fair.
can't walk
Yeah.
into corporate
Yeah.
America and say, all right, guys, we're going to go up against all the fitness studios in Memphis.
No, it's super fair, and I just thought it was really funny, and I really enjoyed us being there, because I've heard the stories over the last couple of years, like, oh, well, you can't beat so and so, and you can't beat this gym because they're just dominating, blah blah blah, and we showed up and kicked ass. Like, we beat just about everybody.
Well, people were coming by the tent
Yeah.
asking who we were.
Yeah, like, who are these people?
Yeah,
Like,
where'd
like,
you come from?
all of a sudden we show up for our first year and just dominate. So our athletes are pretty phenomenal.
Yes, they are.
Very proud of us. A lot of us didn't make it to the practice session that we had the night before.
That was big. The practice
Did
session
y'all
was
not
big.
go there?
Yeah, we did.
Oh yeah.
But,
okay.
a lot of our teammates didn't make it, so it was
Right,
kind of
right.
a fly by the seat of your pants.
Yeah, I couldn't imagine going into that without doing the practice the night before. That was
There was a lot more to it
Critical.
than I anticipated.
yeah. Luckily, we had Coach Gus on hand, who was at the practice,
Yeah.
and who is naturally a very good coach and just a dominant person overall. And he kind of took the lead on that for the people that didn't go to practice and showed up to row the boat. Like, got them all in line and said, "Hey, this is what you're going to do."
Yeah, he does a
So,
good job of
yeah.
that. He's talented in that area. That's tough to do.
Yeah.
Because the first instinct is for kind of the smart ass, it can just get out of hand really quickly. And he doesn't allow that. He wants things to go.
You don't have a choice but stand there and listen to what I'm saying.
I
like
guess
that.
you don't get to the games by not being
That's all right.
structured and disciplined.
Yeah. But there's something about fitness events that are like all day long or multiple days where you're just hanging out. Some people are having beers, doing whatever, and there's an event coming up and we got to prep for this event. We got 3 more left. I just love that. It's always so much fun.
I told Amanda, I think I told you as well, I started crying part of the way through the last race. The things only last a minute. They last 50 seconds.
Yeah.
And I just had this emotional upheaval come over me, just being on that boat with all these people that I was looking at in front of me, and I was just thinking, like, that guy is giving everything he has. There's like no question.
We can't say his name. He wasn't supposed to be there. We'll have to cut that. You'll have
that's
to say the guy
right.
in front of you.
It doesn't
know
matter.
Okay.
Anyway, the team, that whole team aspect is what makes that, I think, for me, emotional like that. Like, we're there as a group and we're all working together to try to win something or accomplish something. And, when you really think about that, especially down to that last race where there's 6 boats and we're all just like hauling ass and like looking over, everybody's dead on, and everybody's just putting in 100%. Who's not going to get emotional about that?
Well, and that's you look around and you think, oh yeah, the guy in front of me is giving 100%. And then you look to your right and you're like, I know he's giving 100%. And then you go up. I went up and down the boat and thought, man,
Yeah.
there's 17 other people on here that are just killing it, giving it everything they have. And it's awesome to know those kinds of people,
Yeah.
let alone be in a boat with them.
I thought it was funny that the first race that we ran and we won, the little guy in the back, the coach, was like, that was the sloppiest win I've ever seen in my life. You guys
funny.
are strong as hell, but like you need to figure this out.
Y'all's timing sucked.
And on the video, we looked like we were a barge. I mean,
Yeah.
we were just like, and then once we got going, it's like,
You could tell it's funny that one of those videos is like it started and there's four boats and everybody's way ahead of us.
Yes.
And we're just kind of like, doot, 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 doot. And then all of a sudden it's like,
It's like,
like we just took off.
that was our first race.
And we ended up winning
thought it
by
was our
like
second.
a whole boat and a half
yeah.
length, like
yeah,
or
we
two
took
boat
off all
lengths.
of a sudden.
Was that our second race? It may have
was-
been.
I think it was the second one.
I don't know if anybody videoed the first
Yeah.
one, offshore or
Well-
onshore.
Something that I took from the race, which I've used quite a few times, was you referred to the cutting off of your sleeves as taking the top down.
Is that bad?
No, it's totally awesome. It's completely redneck and totally awesome. And I caught myself using it. I probably said it 8 different times and had to do a mental checklist. Like, I've already said this to them, and I wonder if Vaughn said it to him. Because I want to be the cool guy that came up with.
Well, I have to say that after Wilson saw Vaughn with his sleeves cut off, we had to get scissors and cut Wilson's sleeves off.
There's going to be scissors found. I wasn't getting on a boat without.
Especially this time of year, almost all of my T-shirts get the top down. Zip.
Vaughn's in the drop top.
Yeah.
It makes you sound like a Jeep.
Makes you sound like a G is what it makes it sound like.
That's funny.
Yeah, well, that was a blast, and I got sunburned all to hell like I knew that I would. I always think that, I just don't want to mess with sunscreen. It's such a pain.
Yeah, I don't either.
It's such a pain.
Unless it's that spray stuff. The spray stuff I can get down with because it's just like, okay, I'm done. I don't have to like rub white stuff all over.
Yeah, but even that is like, I'll be fine. I'll be fine. And every time, when I'm in the sun, I burn like hell. My mom gives me sunscreen on at least one occasion every year.
Mm-hmm.
Every year. And I never, ever, ever use it. I'm sitting here like with my nose peeling right now. And I'm sure that, melanoma is not going to be any more comfortable than putting on sunscreen. But I think that really, I don't want to put on sunscreen at all.
I don't really either, but I can burn really good, and then the next day or two it turns tan. Like I'll be red, but it turns.
Yeah, I do too.
You know what I mean? Like I'm not like one of those, like a ginger white person where it's like, oh, I can't be in the sun because I'm just gonna ruin the next week of my life.
I have more ginger-like qualities than I have Amanda-like qualities. But you steer more towards the Amanda jacked and tan side.
Yeah,
You
if
don't
I stay
tanning.
outside most of the summer, I get pretty tan.
Yeah. So if we had to put everybody in camps, you and Amanda and Darby would be in a camp against me and Brian Swanson.
Right.
And I don't know who else would be over there.
I don't either, but
we would dominate.
But they go. I think y'all go to the tanning bed though. I don't go to a tanning bed.
I do go to the tanning bed. Yes.
And I'm pretty sure Darby spends some time in the tanning bed, and I don't fall in that category, so it's not. I'm not serious about my tan.
I like to go to the tanning bed. I've probably been a dozen times in my life. I've never been regular tanner.
I think I actually went to a tanning bed one time in my entire life, and that was when Holly and I got married, and she was doing the tanning thing, so she would be tan for the wedding, which was in October, and I was like, there's no reason for me to do this. I don't.
Were you supposed to go regular? Were you not tanning
No,
bed?
I mean, she bought like a membership or something because she was going, and I got like a free thing because she was a member. I don't know.
I'm just trying to find out if you were being wedding compliant. If you were being tanning bed compliant. If you did what you were supposed to do.
No.
I don't think she made him go.
No, she didn't make me go. I was just like, maybe I'll go do that or something. And then I was like, I don't know. It's weird.
I'm glad you clarified
fat
that.
guy in a thing. like I feel weird about this. Like, I don't know. If I was hot, it'd be different. But like, I don't know. Like my belly's like poking on the top of the thing, and it's all sticky.
You're
and I'm
like
like
claustrophobic. Like, give me that.
I gotta get out of here.
So I know dudes tan all the time, but it's just weird to be walking down the hall to your bed and some big old guy walks out of the door and you're like, oh, okay.
It's weird walking in one, especially when you
wouldn't
look like me.
Seen a dude like that tanning, but he does.
Yeah, I mean, if you're a good-looking person, it's totally different. But for me, like I'm out of place in somewhere like that.
Well, I clearly am as well, and I know that the entire time that I'm walking in, I'm like, give me 8 minutes on number 8. And then you walk through there and you just kind of try to beeline in there so nobody will see you. And then when you're ready to come out, you make sure you have like all your stuff ready, and you're thinking like, I got to do something with these Spider-Man goggles, and I've got to do something with this towel. I have to get rid of these items as quickly as possible. And please God, don't be somebody there that I know. Because if somebody sees you coming out of the tanning bed, that's it for you.
Well, I mean, at least you know you're smart enough to go in and say, I need 8 minutes on number such and such. I'm walking and I'm like, what do I do now?
Can you show me how to use the tanning bed?
What is it? How does this work?
You gotta have the little cashier girl take you back there and show you all the buttons.
Oh, and that's even worse. Like, I feel awkward thinking about myself in a tanning bed with some girl, a teenage.
Some like 18-year-old girl.
Right. Let me show you how this works, sir.
All right, so I have a topic.
Topic up. Murph. Wow.
Murph.
We got some great topics.
That is a fantastic topic, actually.
When is Murph? Next Monday?
Memorial Day. Mm-hmm. It's not this coming Monday.
It's the next one. The end of the month.
Not the day after this Sunday.
That's correct.
The next week.
That's up on us quickly.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to be big.
It's huge.
How many people you think we'll have at our gym?
Traditionally, we've had 20 to 30 people.
For anybody that doesn't know, Murph is a 1 mile run, 100 pull-ups, 200 push-ups, 300 air squats, and then another mile run in a 20-pound vest if you do it RX.
Well, let's back up a little bit. So some people may not know CrossFit has a tradition of doing workouts that are named after people who have died in combat or service. Right, mostly in armed services, Marines, Navy, all that kind of stuff. And so they'll name it Murph or DT or something like that after a fallen soldier, and it's always a terrible workout. Like if someone asks you to do a hero WOD, it's going to suck. It doesn't matter which one it is. It's going to be hard for you to even do. Most people can't even do it as prescribed. Like the weight's always heavy. The movements are always hard.
In honor of the fallen soldier being an absolute badass, they're going to, that's how it comes up with
absolutely. And a lot of times it's the soldier that died that'll have their favorite workout movements in it. You know, like if they happen to like muscle ups or if they happen to like deadlifts or whatever, you know, whoever made the workout makes it fit, you know, that individual. So this particular one, they made a movie about Lieutenant Michael Murphy, and it's a really big deal for what I don't know how the tradition started, but on every year on Memorial Day, since I started CrossFit 8 years ago, they've always done Murph on Memorial Day. And like you said, it's a mile run. You start, you run a mile, come back, you do 100 pull-ups, 200 push-ups, and 300 squats, and then another mile run. And you can partition that out inside of the mile runs however you want. So if you can run a mile and come back and do 100 sit-ups, or 100 pull-ups, sorry. Or you can do 10 pull-ups, 10 push-ups, 10 squats over and over until you get to the numbers you need to be at. But regardless, whenever you get the work done, you got to run another mile and you're done. Prescription is to put on a 20-pound vest and do it, but I've never done that.
And you have to complete all 100 pull-ups and all 100 until you move on to the next movement. You have to finish all of the movements before.
Yeah.
Which would be really, really, really hard.
I remember the very first time I ever did it was at CrossFit Memphis, probably 7 years ago. It was me and one other guy, and he was a local runner who's big time in the running community, and I just happened to talk him into coming to work out with me to do this Murph, and he was familiar with it, and it was like 6 o'clock in the morning, and I'd never done it before, didn't really know anything about it. All I knew was you got to run a mile, do 100 pull-ups, you got to do 200 squats or push-ups, and then 300 squats, and then take off and run another mile. And I was like, okay, I can do this. I was like, yeah. I didn't know you could break it up or anything. So we started the clock, took off. I ran a mile, came back, started working on my 100 pull-ups. And I mean, did 100 pull-ups right in a row. Didn't break anything up. just however long it took me to do 100 pull-ups. Then I just started on the push-ups. 200 reps, however long it took me to do 200. Then I did 300 squats all in a row, and then took off on that final run. And he beat me, and I was devastated about that. But that was the first time I ever did Murph, and I'll never forget that.
How long did that take you?
Man, it was at least 50 minutes, under an hour, I believe.
I don't think I've broken an hour. I would like to do that this year.
It's so hard, and I don't think I might not even do it this year.
Yeah.
Every year when I do it, I'm just wrecked for like a whole week after. Like I'm sore, I can't move. It's hard to get around. It's tough. And every year I say like, oh, this is stupid. I'm not going to do this. Nobody should be doing this. This is ridiculous. And then like right when the clock starts, I'm like, okay, I'll do it. Okay, what the hell?
It won't be any different this year.
It will not be any different this year.
Last year was my first year. And I wore the vest. I didn't know that they could scale for girls, so I did 20 pounds. I just did it for the running, though. Took it off for the pull-ups, push-ups, and the squats, and then put it back on for the running.
I've never worn a vest.
What are you going to do this year?
I'm going to scale my vest down. And I think I'm going to take it off for the pull-ups. I don't think I can do that. But then I don't know. I'd like to try to put it back on for the push-ups and the squats. But if I break it down into Cindy or something like that, it's going to be hard putting that vest on and off. So I may just do what I did last year and pull it off for the middle stuff and just make it a goal next year to do it with my vest on completely.
Do you have your own vest?
I do.
Yeah. There you go. You got to do it.
I do.
I don't have a vest, so.
I looked at getting one like, watching the Open and stuff. It gets the CrossFit actual Open and games and stuff. And they have this cool vest that they got given to him last year. And I was like, oh, I want one of those because that would be awesome. And they are expensive. So I'll stick with my $60 vest. They're $185.
Whoa.
Yeah. Really? Mm-hmm. That's the one that Mark has at the gym.
Yeah, that's the one that Mark has. It's called a tactical vest.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's as lightweight and as much as possible so you can breathe still. And it has, cushion in the shoulders and everything. Which
so will it absorb a bullet?
It's supposed to. If you have the right weights in there, it's supposed to. I'm not sure if the.
So I'm good to shoot Mark next to.
Just
Memorial
shoot
Day.
Mark.
I would like to shoot Mark because I was going to go in at 6 a.m. before anybody got there and do mine, and I want that middle bar too. And that man called the bar, which I don't know if that's legal in CrossFit gyms across the nation, but he has called the bar at 6 a.m. that's his.
He flat out called it.
Well, I think you can take him.
I don't know how to handle that.
What do you mean 6 a.m.?
He's going in at 6 a.m. early, and I'm going to go early too because I'm a wimp in the heat. So I'd rather go ahead and get mine out of the way and then just watch everybody and cheer.
Okay.
Because I'm usually 5 a.m. or anyway when the sun's not up.
You could do 6:30.
So I could do 5.
Just punch him right in the nose.
But it really bothered me that he called the bar.
You can strong arm Mark. He would allow you to do that.
But I have to say he's trying to do it RX this year, and so I feel like I need to let him have his bar.
But the thing about that is, this is such a long workout anyway. You're both not going to come back from that first mile run at the same time. You can share a bar.
Somebody's not going to be on a bar for a significant amount of time.
The length of time it's going to take to do this workout is, okay, go do 5 pull-ups and I'll do 5.
Well, he's doing RX, so he'll be on it. But I could come at 6:30 and he should be off the bar by then.
Yeah, there's a way around this.
That's another really good idea. You know, he should be done with the pull-up bar by whatever time.
Yeah, and if he's not, I'll shoot him.
Or you could just say, hey, Vaughn said you can't come to the gym anymore.
But you have to keep watching the podcast and being really supportive of Lift Heavy Run Long. But you have to find a new gym. And I'm going to shoot you.
And Wilson wants to put a bullet in you. Or at least in your vest.
In your vest. Not in him, just in his vest.
Oh, boy.
Anyway.
Tunnel Hill training. Tunnel Hill 50 miler, 100 miler.
That's right. This is the big topic.
There's a lot of people doing it.
I know. It's crazy, isn't it?
A lot of people doing the training.
Yeah. I'm really inspired by that.
And you've got, Vaughn has a training plan.
I do.
That a lot of people are doing.
I do, and I'll give it to you if you want to go do it. I'm sending it to everybody that asks for it.
Free of charge.
I got to do my, what is it, 800s tomorrow? I can't remember what it is.
I don't know.
I can't remember. It's on my calendar for
I know
tomorrow.
what I've got, but
I did the 400-meter intervals. I haven't done intervals in so long, and it was like anything else. I did those intervals, and I said, that's what I've been missing. Like, I just want to do intervals all the time now, and that'll fade, I'm sure. But for now, I'm down with the intervals. I did the next day was 3 1-mile intervals, and I did 2 of those. It was really hot, been out in the sun all day, and I was doing 4 p.m. CrossFit, and so it was like 350. So I just did 2 of the 1-mile intervals.
I had 5 1-mile intervals last week for like my second workout, and that was ridiculous.
That's a lot.
Yeah. Back in the day when I first started, I ran my first marathon and did pretty well. And I ran it in 3 hours and 50 minutes.
Holy moly.
And so I thought, well, you know, I didn't really try too hard. I mean, I did what I was supposed to do, but I didn't feel like I was really trying. It was my first marathon, and I just wanted to, like, I didn't have a watch, and, you know, I was whatever. And I got in my head that I could qualify for Boston. I was like, okay, maybe I can run 3 hours and 15 minutes. Right? Maybe in a year I can shave off 30 minutes, you know, like more than 30 minutes off of my time.
3 hours and 15 minutes is what you'd have to run this thing in?
Yeah, to qualify for Boston. And so I worked and I was at the track, and it was, I mean, never trained so hard in my life. Like, I did not miss a running workout. So I was like, I want to go to Boston. And I think it's probably an unrealistic goal, but I've never been so fast. Like, I trained and ran. I was running 800s like consistently, like sub 3 minutes, just like crushing it, like over lots of 800s. Like, just, I was at the track 3 times a week religiously on top of all of my gym workouts and stuff. Got to the race trucking. Like, I ran a half marathon at a 7:13. 7:13 is the pace for the marathon to get to the 3:15. And I was on it, dude. It was so fast that I was like, these miles are just like, these things are flying by. And I'm like, holy crap, this is insane. And I'm on it. And I got to mile 9, mile 10. Got to the split off point where the half marathoners go away. And then I got to like mile 14, and I went, like it was so bad. Like, my coach was waiting for me at mile 15 with a shake. And by the time I got to him, I was like, I can't do this. This was a way too lofty a goal, give me my shake. And I took it, and I kept, and I think I finished in 4 hours. That race. Like, it was so bad. Like, I was on track for half the race and then ended up finishing like 4:05 or something. I say all that to say I never have felt that good training until now. Like, the last 2 weeks, I'm on my runs, I'm at the gym, and I'm on fire. Like, I ran a 6:48 mile during the Metcon this morning, and I'm like, I took a few minutes of rest and then ran my 3 sets of 2,000 meters that I was supposed to do today. and I just felt super strong. And I'm like, if you're just consistent and you do what's on the paper and you don't miss and do what you're supposed to do, it feels so good, you know? And like, this is going to be really good. And to keep me consistent, I have that big old 100-mile thing hanging over my head to where it's like, oh, I don't want to do this today, but I don't have a choice. There's no, I mean, I already registered for this race. I'm going, hotel is there, everything, I have to go, you know, and this is not something you just screw around with. You know, you have to train for this. So you don't get a day off. You get a day off, but you know what I mean? You don't get to be like, oh, I don't feel like training today. I guess I'll just stay home. No, I mean, you got to get up out of the bed and go.
Well, this is the first time I've ever done intervals, and I've always heard that to be faster, you have to do your intervals, and they suck. I don't like it at all. But I went out there and did it. It's not fun, but I'm hoping I'll enjoy it more as the more I do. But I don't like track work. I don't like going around in a circle. I don't like that feeling, and I have to, I think, just push past that and do what I got to do. But
I haven't been to the track yet. I've got it off in the back of my neighborhood or at the gym. I like doing it at the gym because I try to make sure I'm doing it when other people are there. That's motivation. You know what I mean? Like, okay, if I go up there and other people are working out, I'm going to want to do this. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's really helpful because they can see you on, you know, right when you start, they can see you on that stretch, and then they can see you on the other side of the fence. Yeah. So there's really, you don't have much room to hide. So you have to keep going, you know, so you don't look like a complete failure. Yeah. And today when I had 2,000 meters, and so after the second one, you know, everybody's standing outside because the workout in the gym was a outside running workout. And I'm like, God, you can't quit. You know, like you got to run. So, you know, everybody's standing outside. You can't walk around the corner. You know, you have to be running as hard as you can. I've seen you catch fire, kind of fitness fire, I guess, where you get on a roll and start doing really well. Yeah. Before, you're pretty much an emotional runner, though, aren't you? I mean, once you start believing and feeling good, you believe yourself that you're going to stay that path and you'll stay on it. You feel like you're heading in that direction, that you're just kind of getting in the zone as much as anything.
Yeah, I am in that zone training wise, and everything else. Like I'm doing good. So,
you know, just hit me. This is really random, but Murph does wreck you pretty bad, and then I usually have to take the week off, and the next thing I do is the nautical 10-miler.
Yeah, that's kind of why I was thinking. Like I'm trying to talk myself out of doing it because I really have a big hang up on doing every single running workout I'm supposed to do between now and November. Mm-hmm. And I know that if I do Murph, I'm not going to be able to for at least a week.
Yeah.
And so it would be better for me to just be like, okay, maybe I'll cut it in half and do a half Murph and just, you know, enjoy the atmosphere. I'm participating, you know, I don't, you know.
That sounds good. That's dedication to your training.
Yeah. You know, and then I don't have to, you know, Tuesday comes and I don't have to like take off Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and that'll throw me off in a thing because then I'll be like, I'll just eat Sonic cheeseburgers today.
Yeah, it's the only thing I can do. It didn't work out, so I really don't have an option.
I may as well just.
I have to have cheddar poppers.
I just need a supersonic number 2 with mustard and tater tots and cheese.
Did you tell them about the letter we got in the mail?
From Sonic?
No, from Dodges.
You got a letter from Dodges?
Sonic's like,
letting us know that they don't deliver to us anymore.
Yeah, Dodges was sad and wanted to let us know. But they gave us 50% off our next order.
Yeah, it has to be used tonight as soon as this podcast is over, right?
Did you tell them who you are?
I think that's why they sent us a letter.
Everybody else didn't get a letter?
Dear devoted.
It was hand delivered. It was a
sorry.
They had flowers.
It was a singing telegram.
Dear Wilson, aka
We're sorry. So sorry.
Domino's will still deliver though. You just have to kind of tweak your address a little bit. Instead of saying Bahia, you just say Olive Branch, and they're out here. They're here. Because we're DeSoto side, but when we say Bahia, they think Marshall.
That's the same way my parents are, yeah.
So we just say 2274 Olive Branch, and they're here.
Huh. Interesting.
So I went out to the Germantown trails yesterday for the Wednesday night run. I went out there primarily to run with Sean Hillsden and get some footage of him and some interview with him, because I am going to document the Tunnel Hill 50 mile and 100 miler for people who want to participate in it. And that's fun. I interviewed Gary Owens here for like 2 hours a little while ago.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow, that's awesome.
And so we've got that going underway, and it's going to be exciting.
Yeah, that's a brilliant idea because of all the people that we have.
I don't think a lot of people will participate, though.
Oh, do you not? I was. You put the link to upload to Dropbox. I'm gonna have to get you to show me the folder because I made a video this morning, but my phone won't let me upload it to that directory. So probably need to do it from my computer.
Okay, that'll be. If you can't figure that out, come to me, and I'll call you to have you figure that out because you're the tech guy.
Let me call my IT guy. Hang on.
But I just don't see that many people. I see, there's a lot of people that are like, yeah, that sounds like fun. But then what's required of that would be a lot of.
I think you're wrong.
You don't think so?
You have so little faith in our people.
I think you just have to make people realize what.
I think they need to know what they need to do.
Yeah.
And I think they'll do it.
We're so high profile these days, and used to being on the microphone in front of cameras. People just don't understand.
I think it's hard. That's what I'm saying. It's hard to get somebody to be like, yeah, I'll come meet you one-on-one and have like a weird Q&A session with with lights on me and a recording going. And it would just be easy to say, I'll do that tomorrow, or I'll mess with that later. And, I'm not going to, that's something that has to be a work in progress. There's got to be a lot going on.
It's not a big deal. It's easy. All you got to do is sit down and talk about yourself.
It's going to be cool. I'm excited about it.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to win awards.
You think so?
Are you going to enter it in the documentary festival or whatever?
You know how I am. I'm already like, this is going to be awesome. Oh my God, this is so dumb. Like, why am I going to, I don't know the first thing about this. Like it's just such a huge jigsaw puzzle that I don't know how to solve, but it'll come together.
Well, Chris Perry texted me earlier today and was like, I missed it. He was like, at 4 p.m. Channel 5's doing a piece on a guy that's running a 100-mile race down in Florida somewhere. And I was like, well, okay, that's cool. I'll try to check that out. But Netflix is about to release a Tunnel Hill documentary about people running 100 miles in Chicago or Vienna, Illinois.
Yeah, I forgot to respond to that text. Yeah, Brian Williams got me in touch with Steve Durbin, who puts on the Tunnel Hill. So I called and talked to him about getting together and doing an interview. And I texted him today about seeing if he could get me some drone footage of the of the course. I have big ideas in my head. I'm just not sure whether all that'll come to fruition, but I hope it will.
Well, I'd like to hopefully meet him this year I'm sure he's going to be there, just because of an issue that I had when we ran it 2 years ago. I had my buckle, which I was super proud of, in my car, because I was going to at some point take it to get it framed or somehow figure out how to do a display for it. And somebody broke into our car a few months ago and stole it. And I was just really devastated.
Well, that sucks.
And Amanda Drogmiller found out about it, and she got a hold of Mr. Durbin and told him my situation, and he sent her another belt buckle from that year, and she gave it to me.
Oh, cool.
I didn't even put together that was him.
So I got that belt buckle back.
Wow.
And I have it now again, and it's in my lockbox now.
Oh, good.
He's a super nice guy.
So I'd like to personally shake his hand and give him a big hug, because
awesome.
Number one, I didn't think I'd ever do a 50-miler again, and so that was my proof, and I was very proud of that. And I remember every step of that run, and that was a hard thing to not have anymore, because you don't do anything with it. But when I would see it in my console, I'd be like, I ran that, I did that. So
mine's in my living room.
How do you display a buckle?
It's just laying
like
on a
how
shelf.
you're okay. You know how
you wear it with your sleeveless shirt.
There's a shelf next to our couch that has 2 bricks from the home run 5K. I thought were cool little awards that I got, and 2 belt buckles. One's from Tunnel Hill, and one is from, I think, the Mississippi 50. And then I read a post on some Facebook group about how you shouldn't keep your belt buckle if you run a 50-mile race because it's not legit or something.
What?
I was like, that's stupid.
I can see that being something that someone would say.
And I'm like, screw you guys.
Well,
I got
people
my belt
also
buckle.
say, like, people shouldn't get medals for running 5Ks, only marathons.
Yeah.
Stuff like that.
Yeah, people say a lot of stuff.
Speaking of 5Ks, Lou texted me and sent me a link to a 5K that she's going to run.
No
You're
way.
kidding, really?
Yeah, she's going to run the 2017 Rooster Run 5K and Chicken Grilling Contest.
Yeah.
Is she going to train for this race?
I don't know. I mean,
That's
I
not
think
important?
It is important.
That's not important at all.
I
Because
just,
she's like, I don't work out.
yeah. So
Well, I hope she sticks to her. That's her thing.
I think
That's what she does. She runs races that she doesn't.
That'll be awesome.
she said it might be
train
a good
for.
place to start. So I think she's going to do it. Her friends' families hosting this 5K, and I think this is going to be hopefully a starting point for her, whether
Look
she
at
has
that.
to walk it or if she tries to train for it a bit. But I'm very proud of Lou. I told her I would love to do it with her, but it's the weekend that I do my Barbarian Challenge with Amanda, so I'll be out of town. But any 5K she wants to do, she just needs to send me the link, and I'll be there if I can.
That's awesome. Did you see Lou's boyfriend Spencer's post on Chris Cornell today?
Sensitive subject, so
who
careful.
passed away?
Yeah.
Yes.
It was he said, I saw the Eagles in concert. 3 days later, Glenn Fry dies. I'm supposed to see Soundgarden on Friday, and Chris Cornell dies on Thursday. Obviously, I should buy Nickelback tickets
Yes.
for Mankind.
Yes. I was worried that was going to end differently.
What'd you think? I was going to say something just completely disrespectful and headed about Chris Cornell?
No.
What kind of person do you think that I am?
No. You never
I
know.
take that as a personal jab. Chris Cornell could flat lay it down.
Yeah, you could.
What kind of, this is so horrible, I need to probably have Googled this. What kind of songs did they sing? I don't know artists very well, but I know songs on the radio.
So he sang for a band called Soundgarden, which is a big grunge band during the early 90s.
So they have
late
anything
80s,
out
early
right
90s.
now that I would recognize? Or
He sang for a band called Audio Slave.
Oh, okay.
You know Audio
Okay, I
Slave?
do know Audio
So Chris
He was in a ton of bands, wasn't he?
he was in Soundgarden, Audio Slave, and then he had some solo work.
Stone Temple Pilots?
Well, he wasn't in Stone Temple Pilots, but he was in Temple of the Dog, which is a band that consisted of Pearl Jam and Soundgarden.
Oh.
And they released an album like 94, 95, collaboration kind of thing.
Okay.
But just big in the Seattle band, like huge icon in the rock world. And it's really sad that one would allegedly kill himself.
I hadn't even read to see what happened. That's sad. I hope.
Yeah, apparently his wife, I mean, they're in the middle of a tour. So they were just in Memphis at the Music Fest and are touring the U.S., which is crazy. And apparently his wife called either some other people in the band or somebody on the tour and said, you need to go check on Chris in his hotel room. They jarred the door open and found him. And
That's sad.
strangled. So, I don't know.
I know he had opiate addiction in the past.
He's had all kinds of issues. But, it's still sad, for somebody like that that's created so much good art, and inspired so many people around the world. It's just sad to see something like that happen. Insert Soundgarden song here.
Yeah, I need to play some background music. Which song would I play?
I've been thinking about that all day.
I totally went blank as soon as we started talking about them. There's 2 Audio Slave songs, and in order to get to them, I would have to sing them, which I'm not going to do.
Cochise is probably the one you
I
like the
have.
most.
It's not, but I really like that
Yeah.
song. but I have done some Chris Cornell singing behind the wheel of my car that would rock your boat.
Oh yeah.
I mean, if you really want to get down and feel like you know how to sing something, then you do it to Chris Cornell.
Get the Super Unknown album. Listen to that. I posted earlier. He had a song on the single soundtrack called "Seasons," which was always one of my favorite songs, and it's kind of a slower song. But man, this dude can just wail.
Man, that single soundtrack known for being really incredible?
It's probably one of the best soundtracks ever.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
Oh, Black Hole Sun. Okay.
Yeah.
Like a stone.
Like a stone.
Show me how to live.
Man.
Rusty Cage.
Yep.
That's the one that's on my playlist at the gym.
Here Comes the Rooster.
No, that's Alice in Chains.
Oh,
Lane Staley died years ago.
That's funny.
But it's a good
I've
band.
got Alice in Chains and Stone Temple Pilots. I'm like 0 for 2 on Chris Cornell bands.
That song was about his dad. It was like in Vietnam, I think.
No, I didn't know that.
And I think he was a prisoner of war or something like that. There's an interesting story behind that song. Rooster, it's not just a...
I don't have anything else to talk about.
That's good. I mean, we're over an hour, right?
Almost, yeah. I'm done.
Good, because my lives are back on Farm Hero Saga. I need to go. I just got a notification.
What's
I gotta
Farm
go
Hero Saga?
Match my bananas up again.
Is that like the old... Was it a Facebook app where you planted stuff on Farmville?
No.
Farmville?
She really likes it. It's something that I would see
You match
myself
these little
Oh my
fruits up.
gosh.
getting into.
I'll show you what I'm on 97.
Oh, snap.
So you have to match these things up and collect. You have to match 3 together to get them in the basket. And you have to get 50 of each of those to get to the next level. Before you run out of turns. You only have 20 turns.
Okay. Nice.
LHRL number 51's in the books. Get the Farm Hero Saga. I can get something to eat.
Sponsored by Farm Hero Saga.
She hasn't started paying for it yet. I would have been.
No, I don't put any money
I would have
into
been
it.
dropping dollars on that thing left and
Nope.
right by now.
I refuse.
You know how much money those things make? Have
Oh
you
my
ever
God.
Have you ever Googled
Can
that?
you imagine?
No,
It's
Oh,
a
not.
ton, millions and millions daily.
Yeah,
every single day.
For real?
Yeah.
And you know what?
It's
a lot
a
of it
ton.
is like a lot of times people's kids have apps and they're just like, the thing pops up and they're just like, okay, I need to go to the next level here. You know, and then nobody ever knows, and just think that happens hundreds of thousands of times over.
Well-
and you get your iTunes invoice and it's like, oh, $10.
Correct.
Okay. You know?
And a lot of times people have jobs like me who are crackheads. They're like, okay, I'm just going to do this. I just got to pass this level. Just got to pass this level. I just got to pass this level. And then they're like, oh, I didn't have any idea that was $300 I spent on iTunes. And then the next month it's $500 and it just keeps going. But if I was on that, yeah, I would spend money. And then
I won't do that.
I would spend a lot of money.
Speaking of iTunes, people should go to iTunes and give
leave a 5-star
Lift Heavy
review.
Run Long a 5-star review.
They do. It's so hard to get people to do that. Is that because
What's
we
wrong with
suck
people?
or because it's hard to get to the reviews?
I think we just need to educate people.
Okay, how do you do
know,
that?
I don't know.
I think maybe
Let's
there
just
should
we'll keep talking about it, and we'll get people on iTunes to make 5-star reviews, and we'll get them in here to talk about the Tunnel Hill race on camera with a microphone.
Okay.
I think there needs to be like some
Mark Fortune hasn't left us a review on iTunes.
incentive or some gift for like
let's
the
start-
best 5-star review that can be given for Lift Heavy Run Long.
I'll give a gift for any 5-star review. I'd probably give one for a 3-star
Look
review.
at that.
Somebody
You
get
want
on there.
do you want
A
I'm
gift
not
from
going to give
Wilson.
that trucker hat away because I'm going to think.
No,
I'm gonna
don't
take
give the
No.
trucker hat away. I'll send a buff to
it.
anybody
a buff.
that gives a.
You get a buff or a
I'll give you a buff and a transfer sticker.
Woo,
To anybody that leaves us a
man.
5-star review.
Hey, I'm really getting into those trucker hats, by the way.
You got a thing. You
Really?
have that
well,
gift.
you sat it down during Sillamore.
I
Vaughn,
did,
you have the
but
gift of the trucker hat.
It's a
head.
progressive thing.
There's
You
not
think
a
you'll-
lot of people
So
that can
I'm
do
wearing
that.
them out like I'm seriously thinking about taking that one.
Are you gonna wear it till on your 50 miler?
Huh?
Are you gonna wear it on your 50 miler? I mean your 100 miler?
Yeah. Oh yeah, and I'm gonna wear one of those shirts that I was talking. Did y'all see what I was talking about? The checkered shirts, the fancy ones that the real ultra people wear.
Oh, like you had on the other day.
Yeah.
For rowing.
The fancy. I bought
shirt?
2 of them. Yeah.
See, you can get away with that. If I look,
You think I can?
You look
Yeah,
like a
totally. That's what I'm
businessman
saying. You have
running down
that's
the
a
road.
gift. No, he doesn't. He doesn't. He looks like an ultra marathoner. If I wore that, I would look like a dressed up baby Huey or something. I would look like a complete dork, and most people would. But Vaughn's got that kind of not quite hippie skater grunge thing going where he can wear trucker
Do you
hat.
know what I'm talking
I
about?
do.
Like
you had
you've
one
seen
out the
people
rowing
running.
thing, but I've not seen anybody like. Well,
You haven't seen anybody
David
on
Lomax had one on when I first met him when we ran. I
Yeah.
thought that was odd.
Yeah.
It looks like a dress shirt. So what kind of shorts do you wear with it? So it looks okay.
That's a good question. We need to figure that out before November. I'm working on it.
Do you have khaki sports shorts that you wear with that? to
I'll
make it
talk
look
to
like an
Lomax.
outfit?
Find it. He's got the
Lomax
good
knows
thing
because
going.
I mentioned it on Facebook and he told me exactly.
Yeah.
He was like, "Go to the Columbia thing," and
See,
that's
that's
what
the dude
I
I
did.
knew that wore them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
All right, Lomax, it's up to you to dress Vaughn for the
that's right. You're my stylist.
And while you're styling, leave us a 5-star review on iTunes.
That's right.
All right.
David, you need to sign up for this too. Get back into running.